So I'm going to get a new canvas, new month, new canvas. I'm just going to make it the same size as a photograph. So I'm going to do 6 inches wide by 4 inches tall. And I'll leave the resolution at 200. And say OK. And then the very first thing we do is get a very dark color for the sky. Doesn't really matter which color. Easier if it's blue, purple, somewhere in that range. If you want a challenge, you can bump it up to red or yellow or orange. I'm going to play it safe, keep it around the blue, and pick something down here that's very close to black, but not absolute black. I'm going to name my layer Sky and fill it with my paint bucket. Then I'll get the absolute black, that lower left corner, and you should see 000 on the hex code there to know that you're in absolute black territory. Then I'm going to grab our gradient tool, the one below the paint bucket, and I'll change it to transparent to foreground, meaning that I'm going to start with clear pixels and end up with black. So I'm going to start at the middle of my canvas and then pull towards a corner. And we should see black appear in one of the corners. I'll do it to the other diagonal corner so that I have kind of this stripe of color in the middle. Very subtle. All right, then I'm going to grab my airbrush, which means I need my drawing tool at the top. Change it to airbrush. It's going to be quite large, something almost as big as that colored stripe in the middle that we already have. I'm going to get a more saturated blue. That means over on the right-hand side of our color picker. And I'll paint lightly some extra color right in the middle. If you feel like your sky changes too quickly from color to black, you can just color pick somewhere in the middle here where the haze of the blue is getting mixed in with the black, and you can just keep doing this process to blend it out more gradually. And then we'll make a new layer, and this will be stars. For the stars, we need the particle brush. I'll change my color to white, or you can do, excuse me, a very light yellow, very light blue, very light green, very light of any colors, think pastels. And we're going to go ahead and make this brush very large and see what we get. If it looks too much like snow, that means it's too big. We have to back off on the size until we get these little dots. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what happens a little clearer. If I press hard, I'll get more stars. If I press lightly, it hardly shows up at all. So I'm going to press rather firm and only move my pen about a 2 millimeters, quarter of an inch on my tablet so that I get these little pops of stars, little sprinkles. And we could spend all day doing this all over the canvas, but another way to do it is just copy and paste. So I can grab my lasso tool. select that area of stars, Control C for copy, Control V for paste. To get rid of this blue, Control D for deselect. So now I have my stars layer and a layer 3. If I move that layer 3, now I've got more stars. I'm going to use this little button that has the down arrow right by the trash can and make those 2 layers into one so that now all my stars are there. I could do the same thing of lasso, copy paste, all that. Sometimes it's easier just to duplicate the layer, this button that has the 2 pieces of paper, and then I can just move it to a different spot. The only problem with this is that it starts looking like a rubber stamp. It starts looking the same over and over and over. So what we can do then is rotate with Control T, T for transform. So I can start turning my stars in different directions so that it doesn't look so much like the same stars over and over. Got to hit enter when you like it. Same thing. Flatten the layer, duplicate the layer, move it to a new spot. If it's too much of the same, you just rotate it around a different way. And we're going to keep doing this until we've got a sky full of stars.
So my stars look a little bigger than yours. So if I made my particle brush smaller, I could make some small stars. So I think I'll.
And mine's set at 85.
Okay. I can hardly see them when they're small. Oh, there they are. Okay, yeah, I can move that around. Really have a star field. So I can just duplicate that layer.
Yep.
So for some reason, my particle brush got nice and light now. I like it.
It might be the opacity, but I'm not sure.
It's still a particle brush. It's 100%. It's always been 100%, but one time I did it, it just was really pale. I could hardly see it. And this time it's bright white. I haven't changed the color. I don't know. I'm happy with the result.
Okay, we'll go with
very starry.
Very starry. Excellent. Well, this is a good time to save, so I'm going to go to my file menu, save. Today is what, the 3rd? 3/3/20. And to make the illusion of more distant stars and close stars, I'm going to lower the opacity of this layer so I can barely see some of those stars. Duplicate the layer and rotate it 180 degrees so that we have different orientation to our stars. Actually, it doesn't even have to be 180. It could just be any different angle. Bump that one up to 100%. So now I have two layers. I have distant stars. I'm even going to rename this layer distant stars. And then I have my close stars, my brighter stars. With the distant stars, I can add a little color if I want to. I just need to protect alpha, protect my pixels so that I don't color outside of these stars that I've already drawn. And I can pick a blue or a green or a pink or something like that and get an airbrush. And color some of these stars purple. It's a very subtle effect, might not even be worth it. So try it out and see if you think it's worth it. Try to zoom in and show some examples here. Right there, I colored that star purple. I can get some yellow over here maybe. Maybe a brighter yellow. So now I'm turning.
Oh, I know what I did. I had changed it from a particle brush to an airbrush.
Ooh,
So I airbrushed some stars on there.
Oh, well, that's
all right.
Bad.
Hi.
Hey, how old do you feel today? Feel about 20?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. That was the last time. Oh, yeah.
You look about the same.
Mm.
We never get to see you. Why don't you get your camera going here?
It's an old computer.
Oh.
Also, it's literally installed into it. And cameras are expensive.
Did you get your program that you
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good.
I completely forgot about like my birthday until you mentioned it.
Well, it's history now, right? It was Saturday, I think.
Yeah,
It was the 21st.
Yeah, wow.
21st. Oh, it was all week ago.
Ancient history.
Right.
Yeah.
After we've got our stars looking pretty good here, we're going to add kind of a space cloud or some color differentiation.
So wait, we're starting the same class over again?
Yeah. We learned 2 ways how to do this. Do you remember any of them, Michaela?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, a little.
I have a little X, a little red X on one of my layers.
A red X. Let me stop my share and take a look.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. See that little red X right there?
I started my program and I'm gonna.
That might be something to do with the gear options. What happens when you click the gear?
Oh, it says draft
layer.
layer.
So click that off. Yeah.
Okay, well, now I know what the little red X is.
I don't know what draft layer does, but I will have to check that out. That looks like it could be handy if I know how to use it.
Right, it might be exactly what we want.
So we had 2 ways to do this. One was using the particle brush and blurring it with Gaussian blur. That might ring a bell. The other one was using the filter option to make a cloud or sand. Any of those ring a bell?
That's not ringing a bell. I guess I better use that one.
All right, let's use that. So I'm going to go to filter and I can pick cloud, which will do this.
Ooh.
Or,
but are you doing that right on your stars layer, or should we have another layer?
We should get another layer, yes.
Oh, my program isn't working.
Uh-oh, you might have to restart. The cloud is going to use whichever two colors you have selected. So I want to get some colors that are fairly the same value, but different hue. So I want like 2 bright colors or 2 pale colors. Unless you want to go really dramatic, then you can pick one really dark color and one really light color. But play with that, and when you hit filter and cloud, it will give you sort of a cloudy texture. Or if you choose, oops, dropped my pen there. If you choose sand, it'll give you a grittier texture. Both work because we're in outer space and who knows what's out in outer space. So you can do either one. Once you have that texture, I'll use cloud. I think I used cloud last time. We're just going to use a big old airbrush, about that big there, about 200 pixels. Put it to transparency so I can erase out some of this cloud. And oh, look, my space, my stars is back there.
Now your airbrush is,
My
airbrush erase.
Yeah, my
course,
airbrush is set to transparency, so it becomes an eraser. And you can erase as much or as little of this space cloud nebula thingy as you want.
Oh. Okay, now I'm on my program now and I'm just trying to remember the very first steps.
First steps would be this, base colors.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then do you have any like specific brushes you use or not?
For this part, nope, it was just paint bucket to fill it in, and then some kind of gradient to do the fading black corners. Then some kind of speckle or splatter brush for stars. And after you have your cloud shape, you can play with the blending options. Right now it's on normal. We know multiply makes things darker, so that's not going to do much. There's add, which makes it do that. You can just go down the list and see what different things do. And you go, oh, until you find a cool one, and you keep it. If you like an effect, but if you think it's just a little too much, you want to take it down a notch, you can always take down your opacity and go, you know, a little subtle blue cloud in there. So play with that for another, let's say, 3 minutes, and then we'll move along.
Oh, hey, good news, I got Netflix back.
Woohoo!
Anything worthy of getting Netflix for those of us who do not have it?
Yeah, there's like a couple of shows that I really like. I love Carmen Sandiego. I love I'm trying to remember the others. I like Hilda. Those are very pretty art-wise. Also, there's a new show called Kid Cosmic that's really interesting. It was made by Craig McCracken.
Oh yeah.
And the art style is really interesting to me. And it's like it has an art style. It's an interesting art style that I don't know how to describe because I'm just bad at words. Have you seen stuff for that, Betsy?
I just watched a little bit before class today, but it was kind of jarring to me. It's not the smooth animation we're all used to. It's very much like an animatic. Large gaps from pose to pose, so it's
That's not a thing that happens, I don't think. Either it's like I think that like stops at some point, or it's just something I stopped noticing it.
yeah, I was just caught off guard by the very limited amount of animation, but the actual style is more retro, almost like a Sunday comic to me. A lot
Yeah.
of dot eyes and real clear expressions, but
Oh.
Wasn't quite my cup of tea, but I can see why other people like it.
I think like this show gets really charming as it goes on.
I wouldn't doubt it. I loved Foster's for that reason.
Oh, is the program stopped? Oh, nope, I guess like just my tablet pen, like the tablet shortcut just wasn't working.
Yep, technology. So fickle. Kind of like that one, actually. I'll keep that one.
Edit. Does this have a blur function?
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Oh, it does.
Lastly, we're going to use our grid that's kind of like a waffle, just has vertical and horizontal. Up here at the top where we usually pick our like circle grid and such, I'm going to pick that one. I'm going to get pure white.
Now wait, which one did you pick?
I picked the one that only has vertical and horizontal, like a traditional grid.
Oh, a grid. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, regular grid. Crisscross snap is what they call it. And I'm going to get my pen, put it down to maybe 6 to 10 pixels big, not that big. Zoom in, because we're going to make those stars that have the little crosshairs. Whoops, let me get to a layer, a new layer. We're just going to do little plus signs for those little star glares, little glitters, twinkle twinkles.
So you're doing them with your blue color or your white color.
Yeah, you can do it with blue, purple, white. Some people like to put a little airbrush glow around or on the star there. Whoops, I gotta take my grid off.
Yeah, I'm still on the first step. And I'm just trying to remember. Okay, speckle tool.
So we'll have a couple of those stars really glittering in the night. If you want to do a little research and look up a constellation, you could put an actual constellation in there, super bright stars.
Okay, I can't get mine to work. I have the pen, I have size, I have a color, I have.
You're on a new layer.
I'm on a new layer. I'm on a grid.
Okay.
But nothing. It doesn't say it's not going to do anything. But when I draw, I don't see anything.
Are you on the
color? No.
Yep. Happens to all of us.
Okie dokie. So I was erasing away, but luckily it was an empty.
Yeah.
There, so that didn't matter.
I'm not going to put these big sparkly stars everywhere. This is more like a few choicely placed for effect.
Oh, wow, this thing has effects. Oh. Yeah, no, I'm just looking for like stuff and then I'm just finding other things, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's the best way to learn, honestly.
You have actually used this before, haven't you? That was how you decided you wanted it?
What?
You've used the program before. You've been using it for a couple of weeks, right?
Oh yeah, I just forget. I just don't know everything about it. Like this is a very rich program. It's full of a lot of stuff. And I've seen so many like people point out like these useful little tips that, you know, I just had to get it, you know?
Well,
Yep.
I have Corel Draw and it's another real powerful program and I really like it, but I haven't learned anything yet. So I'm still happy with FireAlpaca, just figuring out how to go back, but
Yeah.
and I know exactly what you mean. It's so exciting to have tools that you haven't tried yet.
Yeah. Also, one cool thing about it is it's popular. So there are lots of tutorials that I need to watch.
Not only that, I saw the company actually sponsors like tutorial contests, which I thought was kind of an interesting way to get people to help one another.
Oh, I think I did this wrong now that I'm looking at it. Whoops. I forgot to do a lot of stuff.
No problem. We're only halfway through class. And this
And
is
I'm only on the second step out of 13, I believe. Wasn't it? I don't remember. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I tried using a different style of brush. And I think it looks neat. Like if I worked on this, it looks neat, but right now it just looks like a snowstorm.
Yeah, that's the tricky part, is trying to pick a canvas size that'll make the particle brushes look like stars instead of snow or goop.
Okay, so now I'm having an event where I make my picture the way I want it, and then I lift the thing and it disappears, just like I Control Z. So I'm going to share that with you.
Yeah, that sounds
It's so weird.
exciting.
All right, here we go. Can you see it? Is it big enough?
Yep, we can see it.
So I go over here. Oh, doesn't that look nice?
And then it doesn't.
Went away.
Might be something to do with the grid. I had to turn off my grid to add.
Oh, let's try that.
I don't exactly know why, but mine worked.
Well, it wants to make it round, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but mine worked after I did that.
But now I can't. Ah, there it is. Oh, okay. Yeah. Great solution. Works for me.
Cool. I like yours a lot. Can I show you mine?
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Currently trying to do this.
I like it.
There you go. Stars, night sky, lovely.
I think I should use something else for the stars because I don't know. I don't like it's a fun decoration, like, but I don't like the way it looks compared to like the rough style of the back.
Yeah, so those stars, they came up with the little X's already on them, didn't they?
Oh yeah, I have this fun little thing called a decoration tool.
Oh yeah,
it has
yeah.
it has all this stuff.
Oh wow.
And I use that.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's cool, but I don't like the way it looks with the back.
Well, go ahead and change it because it's easy to do.
You have in your filter menu, do you have anything like cutout? I know Photoshop has cutout when you want to make things look more stylized, but I don't know if this one does.
Distort.
Distort, curved surface, fisheye lens, pinch, polar coordinates, ripple, whirl, wave. Hold on, let me look at this. Let me press this really quick.
Yeah, you gotta play with
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
It's so difficult that they give them different names. You know, it probably has the same tool, but it doesn't cut out.
Absolutely. But yeah, I'd have fun with the filters, see if there's something that can turn your stars more stylized.
I don't understand how I can do that. To play. Okay.
Also, I mean, I'm not sure that Clip Studio Paint has it. I know Photoshop has it, but I didn't know if they had it or not. But usually it's called like cutout or paper or maybe artistic or something.
Yeah, who knows?
But I just have to play around with it, have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have fun for a long time with that program.
Yeah, it's like I just got a bunch of whole new toys. It's so cool.
Well, hopefully they'll inspire you and they'll
Hmm.
make you want to do a bunch of things you haven't done before.
Oh. Oh, yeah, this is fun.
So far, we've been doing landscape format pieces for our outer space. I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and, am I sharing screen? I'm not, am I? Share screen. Da, 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 da. I'm going to go ahead and extend my canvas. Right now, the height is at 800 pixels. I'm going to double it to 1600. And so now when I back up, my canvas is actually that big. I'll take my sky layer, Control T, just stretch that out so I don't have to do it all over again. With my distant stars, duplicate, move them down.
Now I'm gonna Google what a grid. It's called a grid, right? What you use to like straighten or make circles and stuff.
Yeah, they call it, or no, they call it a snap.
Yeah.
We're up here, they're like crisscross snap, ellipse snap. They call them snaps. I don't know if they're actually called that though.
Yeah, I just gotta Google. I gotta Google it because it sucks because there's so many different terms for like a simple concept that I have trouble like writing down.
Yep, it's like learning a nice new language.
So I'm just
At least they all use Control Z.
yeah, so far
At
I've
least
always seen
the ones I've used too. Yes, so that's a relief.
So my cloud here is obviously going to look very much duplicated and not that good. So I'm going to take my airbrush and erase some more of it. Make my brush nice and big. Make it look different. Maybe get rid of this seam at the bottom here.
Nope. Okay, yeah, you're right. Grid does not do what I think it is. So it's called snap, right?
In FireAlpaca it is.
I don't know if we're talking about the same thing anymore. Um, I'm talking about, you know, the tool you use so it forces you to do like perfectly horizontal or vertical lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those. Yeah, these they're called snaps. There's even a snap menu, and that's where you get all of your different like stencil thingies. But well, like I say, it might be called a grid, might be called template.
Why did I think it was called a grid?
Well, this one's a grid for sure. And lastly, my star flares. Oops. Going to duplicate those, drag them down, maybe turn them upside down or move them into different locations. So again, it's not as obvious that I copied and pasted them. I can select these guys, for instance, and just move them with my move tool somewhere else so that it's not as obvious.
I haven't talked about snap.
Separate that little guy out, or gal. And now I very easily made my horizontal piece into a vertical piece.
I think I might be called a ruler in this.
Oh, could be, yeah.
This guy has a different layout than me, so I don't know how he's doing it.
Well, technically, the only thing we used that for was to make those little stars with the flares, and you already have a brush that does that.
Oh yeah. Okay, can I show you guys now? Oh, never mind, you're doing something.
No, I'm just playing around.
Go ahead.
Let me
Yeah,
stop
it's
my
all
share.
any of us. Go ahead and share.
Yeah, here's my attempt. I used like a airbrush, they have a special airbrush called Spray, and that's what I used. And then I added like I tried to also do the decoration thing, albeit it doesn't really do like singulars like it's not really like a stamp. It kind of forced me to do multiple at a time.
Yeah,
Some
I see.
options you can change with that, maybe. Usually brushes come with options. But you always just go back and erase the ones you don't want to.
Yeah, also I have an undo button, which is very cool.
Of course, undo's the best.
Isn't it good old Control Z?
Yeah, I have it on I messed around with like my tablet functions, and my tablet has some buttons on it, so I did that.
That's smart. You are technically there, buddy.
Yeah, looking good.
So
Yeah.
you use the airbrush to put in the star field, right?
Yeah, I use like
Nice.
airbrush, and it has like multiple thingies, and I use this spray to like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, it's cool. Okay, what is the next thing I'm supposed to do? I forget now.
Just make those stars with the little
Oh,
flare,
oh,
the twinkly stars. Yeah, there you go. You already have a bunch, so you can just erase out the ones you don't want, or something else that takes them down if you don't want that many. But why not have that many? I mean, a twinkly sky, that's great.
yeah, that seems fine to me. This looks fine. So after that, what am I supposed to do?
That's it.